What is up, guys? Proto Bro here, infamous brother to Mega Bro, and this is going to be the first Let's Play for Hearts of Iron 3, Black of Ice. We're going to play as Japan, and a couple of reasons for playing as Japan. One, I just really don't see a whole lot of Let's Plays out there on Japan, and so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do one. Two, it's a fairly dynamic nation to play. There's really a lot of various things you can do throughout the game. You're not necessarily pigeonholed into one particular action. So we can either go to war with Russia, we can ally with Russia, we can join the Axis, not join the Axis, go to war with the US, not, and so forth. So there's a lot of different choices throughout the playthrough that we can choose. What I'm going to do is we're going to start off at the very beginning here, so just so I can let you see my initial actions. Black Ice has a number of options that we're going to go through here that kind of help structure the way the game's going to be played. Why is that doing that? There we go. And so I'm going to do this, and then what I'm going to do is probably fast forward through to 37, simply because it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense for you to sit here and just watch me stare at a screen while I accept and conduct trade agreements and so forth. So what I'll do is I'll provide you kind of a back brief on what I did up until 37. So first step, espionage and spies. We're going to go with political spying. The primary reason there is the ruling party support, 2%. When we start off as Japan, we have this fractured government, so we've got essentially basically 5 different groups that all have somewhat of an equal say in what goes on, which creates this fractured government, has impacts on popularity, impacts on dissent, and so forth. What we want to do is, as the control clique, or the paternal autocrats, which we currently have 23%, we want to get this as big as possible. And one of the ways to do that is through the ruling party support and the espionage tab, which under here we do that. Right. Economic boost. I like the long-term option, so we get the plus 20 money. Yeah, the IC takes a hit, our industrial capacity, but you'll see with Japan up here, with the exception of energy, we're pretty scarce in a lot of these things, and so you end up burning through a lot of money. One, to research. Researching takes money, but then 2, acquiring like rare minerals and so forth that we need to kind of stay afloat until we're able to conquer some territory. Support level C1, military academy. This military academy here, this is just under here. It's an option that you eventually build it, and it gives you a bonus up to the strategic resources. And then seaport is we're building it's just increases strategic support there for the seaports. It's just an option that Black Ice gives you as Japan. We are not going to support we don't have to do that. That's good. We'll stay out of that. We're going to play on hard. We are going to trade away 200 supplies for some money. So 200 money for 200 supplies. Not a bad trade-off when you think we have 31,000 supplies currently. We are not going to let them go independent, so we're going to defend the status quo. Keep them annexed. National policy with regards to recruit. We want to do balanced. I like balanced because you get 25 manpower, 25 experience. Yeah, again, cost you some IC. But this one here, notice, look at all those modifiers we take a negative on. And then this 15% of the IC, which is pretty substantial. So, and this is like a little backstory. It basically, again, kind of carve the way with which you play the game. I usually do it just for the heck of it. We want, let's see here. So plus 2% research. That's fine. We'll go with that. Yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a hit on the build time, but that's okay. We're going to be an adventurous sailor because we're the Japanese, and it makes sense. We were sent to military school. Yeah, but you know what? We're going to take a hit on those minerals that we're hard up on anyways. We did get plus 2% on leadership, so we'd be negative 2 leadership, but plus 2 on the IC. That could be helpful. Or we could even go up to 6% total leadership, but again, our IC Here, let's do this one. Let's go with, let's get +2 IC. Why not? Ruling party support, yes, +3%, because we really need that. And we became a sailor in the Navy to get the naval build speed. Alright, cool. Went through that. I think there's a few more options we need to go through here. Alright, so we're going to play a normal China because we're playing it hard. And honestly, I don't know how these things affect. Like, basically, you can like beef up your allies or whatever if you want. I'm going to play on normal and everything. I'm curious, though, if we should play hard Soviets. So basically it says average tends to see the German AI come close to knocking the USSR out and should allow a competent player to win. Hell should present a definite challenge to an experienced player. So basically if we played on average, which I guess is normal, because there is no average option, tends to see the German AI come close to knocking them out. Sure, let's just go with normal. Alright. We're going to go with normal with everybody. I have no idea what this does. Okay, whatever. A new day is dawning. That's what I clicked. And then we're going to play normal allies. Again, we're already playing on hard. And then science focus. I see. Or build. You know, I'm going to spend a lot of time my first year on science anyways. But I'm not seeing a bonus to my science, though. See there? You see a bonus? That's kind of crazy. +15 IC on the forget military for now and build up your economy. Naval build speed slow down, but we do get... Let's do that. Alright, so I went through all the options and that stuff. Here's our empire currently. We're all the way down here, up along here, and here. Alright, and Manchukuo is a puppet of ours, which means that their military is autonomous. They get to dictate what their military does, but they have to give me, I think, like 50% of their minerals and so forth. And then also, if I go to war, they have to join. Notice here we've got China and their allies, which is right here, here. I think currently they're at war with communist China, which is right here. But essentially what you're going to see us do in 37 is we're going to swoop in here, knock him out, and then backtrack, flood north, while simultaneously landing on the eastern coast here. Expanding our thing. Alright. Technology. Alright, so I always go for these because they give leadership bonuses, so I always make sure to max these out as soon as I can. Because, again, the leadership bonuses directly contribute right here, which contributes to your research. Medicine increases manpower and I think lowers the amount of casualties you take. Plus 80% on supply. Nice. These I know contribute to your overall technological advances, especially when it comes to like tanks and stuff, but I don't know how much they contribute to like what. I've never quite been able to figure that out. It says they allow construction of steel refinery. So I'm assuming like when you go back here, when you're talking about right here, maybe you need steel? I don't know. Just speculating. combat efficiency plus, was that 6%? So yeah, definitely. And then delays reduce attack. So basically, anytime you attack, you have to wait so many days or hours before that unit can attack again. Sometimes it's 48 hours, could be 72, depending on your country, your tech. So researching these delays that, so you can basically keep pushing. I always get these current infantry guns, small arms. These are all relating to your infantry. So I always try and keep these the current year that I'm in. Garrison deployments. These garrison units can actually be, they're really good defensively. They're not good offensive units, but they're very good defensively. They're excellent to use to kind of fill in holes in your line. But you can't move them until you get this redeployment capability. Notice there, their weight's drastically reduced so that you can actually move them. So they can move from like point A to point B. It's like heavy defensiveness, getting that camouflage there. Artillery, obviously we want artillery current. Notice here, like, right, so we increase the soft attack of the artillery, but we're also decreasing the organization, which basically means that the lower your organization is, the quicker the unit becomes completely like ineffective and useless. I don't want heavy, so heavy artillery is for tanks, armor. Our first enemy, that the Chinese don't really have any tanks, so we don't have to worry about that. We're probably not going to build many tanks. As you'll see, the landscape isn't really favorable to it. It's not bad, I think, to have 1 or 2 tank divisions, like light tank divisions. But I'll have to look at our technology and see if it's even worth researching. One of the things I've found is you only have a year to build up, right? Unlike Germany, where you've got 3 years. So you really got to focus in on, okay, what am I going to be using in 37? And then everything else can kind of play catch up. So like artillery, I know I'm going to be using in 37. Infantry, I know I'm going to use in 37. Going to be using recon. You want improved movement. I'm kind of a blitzkrieg kind of guy. I like to be able to push through as quick as fast as possible. We're not going to be using a lot of armor. We don't have any mechanized. We do have cavalry, so cavalry organization. But I don't really use cavalry. I use cavalry more as a support tool to move in quick, secure a location, and then bring in troops. I don't really intend to do much fighting with my cavalry. So I'm not going to be spending much research on cavalry, at least initially. But here we go. So blitzkrieg, I want that. Even though no, it's 10, right? So it's going to take me a long time to research it. Spec Ops. Do I have mountain? I don't have mountain training. I want that though. So I need mountain infantry. Ski brigade. Interesting. So do I have mountain infantry? I do not. And I need small arms. So all those 3. So I need this. All needs to be 3. So this is only 2. So I need to research that 2 more times. This will be, once that's researched, I'll be able to do it. So I need to research these 2 more times before I can get mountain. And the reason that's important is look at the landscape. Simplified terrain. All that gray, that's all mountain. So mountain brigades specialize in fighting in hills, which is the brown here, and this gray area, which are mountains. Your normal infantry takes a pretty big hit in terms of their capability in mountain areas. So really have to either use light infantry, which we have. We have specialized light infantry, or light infantry or mountain. So that's why I want to research that as soon as possible, because we do use mountain pretty frequently. So I'm already researching that though, so we're good. Construction, obviously we want that. I'll take the manpower hit for the IC bonus. Again, IC production, we're going to take a hit on the minerals, but that's okay. I think I can deal with that. Road supply throughput, so again, that's the amount of supplies that you can kind of get pushed through to your units. Combat reinforcement, obviously want that. We don't need this stuff. Fortress, don't need that. So I'm going to take road. a lot of stuff I pushed up here. So notice red, this means it's queued up, but it's not going to be researched. Yellow, it's going to be researched, but I think at half the time. And then these are all going to be researched at normal times. So this July, I want to say, this will actually, oops. See how it went up to October of 36? And do that, and it goes back to July 37. So it's going to be researched half the time. These aren't going to be researched at all. You affect this, though, by this right here. So right now we only have 9.5 being invested here. And this will actually go up, though, as we research, we research this one. This will increase it. And then you can also research its leaderships by going into your header here and grabbing people who contribute to it. It's like this guy here, leadership modifier 5%. All right. I love me some espionage, but we're gonna have to take a hit on that for now. You're gonna notice we're not gonna use a whole lot of diplomacy early on as the Japanese, because we're not a part of alliance. We're not part of the Axis. But I do want to add this up though, because at some point I will start using a fair amount of it. And then that's not a whole lot of officers to get each day, but for now I really want to focus heavily on this. And then let's see here. That's not very many spies either, but whatever. Let's take. I really want to get those infantry spots researched. And garrison. See, when you play on hard, man, it really puts a damper on things. Like, usually you have a lot more. There's a lot more things you can research. Let's see. Yeah. If you're playing a normal, there's a whole lot. I'd be able to research a lot more with this kind of setup, where this is essentially 7/8 of the overall. But all right, for now we'll just stick with that. I'll bounce back. I'll give you guys a preview of kind of what I've been doing, so you can see it. Alright, one thing I am going to do is with like the US, I'm going to engage in some trade. So again, look at our relation 75. Well, I am going to buy some metal. And when they accept it, which they did, now it's 85. So it's one way to kind of skew a little bit the relations. Our relations to Russia right now are 0. I'm going to buy one rare mineral for 135. And just going to keep doing stuff like that to build up relations. As the relations improve, then what will happen is actually they will be willing to give you stuff at a better price. So. Lost, that's awesome. Alright, cool. There we go. So I think, hey, look at that. Boom, all of a sudden you can research a boatload now that was lifted. Hell yeah. We'd give them fuel for money, sure, why not? Right now I'm cool with anything that involves money. We can always cancel them. So right now we got these 3. Why is this? Ah, that'll get assigned. Auto assign. And production. Alright, so So I'm going to go aircraft heavy with light cruisers. These are already been built. Alright, whatever. Light infantry. So I'm looking at here's the light infantry is 539. Specialized is not much more expensive. Less manpower. Almost double the time to make though. But look at the number here. 2 soft attack, 7 soft attack. 1 hard attack, 4 piercing. They don't have any piercing. It seems to me it'd make more sense just build specialized. The softness though. 70. They're 100. So it means they can kind of get broken up a little bit pretty easily. That's okay. Let's do that. Okay, so what I did was I moved these down. They're already been built, so I figure why cancel them, but I don't have any use for them right now. I don't want to have any use for them for a while. These are destroyers. These are cruisers, I believe. Uh, I've got 3 carriers currently being built with CAGs, which is carrier air groups. It looks like this one right here. It's hard to tell which ones are which. I think the CVL, that's a light carrier. Light carriers can only carry 1 of these. The other carriers can carry 2 of these. Currently I'm only building 3 total, so obviously I'll have to build 2 more at some point. They are expensive and they are time consuming, but anyways. But what I'm focusing on right now is I'm building a bunch of these militia. So this is essentially 6,000 militia with support from pack artillery, which is really good for mountainous and hill terrain. It's not as strong as normal artillery, but it's really effective in mountain and hill terrain. And then I have attached to there a brigade of cavalry and engineers. And then I'm also building the specialized light infantry, which again, these guys they specialize in mountainous and hill terrain to fight. And the reason being is that when we go to war with China, Jesus, you see here all this mountain. So this area here is plains, which normal infantry is going to be most effective in. But most of my fighting is going to happen in hills or mountains right here. And that's why I feel like I need to build some more of those. And then for technology, after we got past the Great Depression, it opened up a whole bunch of tech, so I'm just researching a boatload of technology here. Infantry stuff. I'm focusing primarily on infantry tech, air, because I really want to get it so that when I am, let's see here, I think this is select here, these penalties. So if I go to bomb land targets, infantry land targets, every time your Air Force does something, you suffer a penalty until you research stuff up to kind of decrease that penalty. So I'm trying to do that so I can make my aircraft a little more effective and so forth. So that's kind of what we got going on right now. Let's get going. And then we have some new laws we can do. We can increase this. I'm going to wait to see where my money's at before I do anything. And then also, too, I did some trading. So for money, and then I'm trading away a whole bunch of energy. But this will basically, the AI will automatically take convoys and stick them in there to do the trading. We would give them energy for money, yes. Alright guys, so I'm going to fast forward through here for a little bit. All I'm going to be really doing is doing trade agreements to build up relations with like US and Russia and so forth. The next Let's Play, you'll see me, what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to use this nice little tab. I'm going to build some battle plans so you can kind of see a general idea of what I intend to do as far as the invasion of China is concerned. And we'll go from there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the flip side.